Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kurt, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. When we had left off, we sent a robotic refueling mission to help assist with our out-of-fuel mission to the moon. And that is certainly where we left off, except for the fact that you might see this guy, the double-wide refueler V2, currently in orbit about 100 kilometers above the surface of Kerbin. We'll get to that in a minute. I've done a little bit away from the camera, but we'll see that when we have to see that. But right now, I need to get back down to the Peanut Crater landing site. Oh, and we're certainly here, and it's certainly the middle of the night as far as the moon is concerned. So time has indeed passed. And let me switch. Here we go. Bill and Lodfrod Kerman are on the surface of the moon just outside Peanut Crater. Apparently, flags emit some sort of gentle glow. I'm a little bit skeptical, but some of you seem to believe that I could get off the surface and into a simple orbit with what little fuel I have left here. Less than 250 units, I suppose, of fuel. That might be possible, and I'm thinking I would like to try that today. Putting Bill and Lodfrod Kerman at risk. The alternative method would be, of course, to build a separate lander and land next to them somehow to rescue them. I've done that before. In the previous, I suppose, season of Kerbal Space Program, I made a robotic lander and landed and rescued some people who were stranded on the moon. But I feel like taking the Top Gun approach and trying my darndest to get back into orbit. And I'm thinking I don't need to get back into orbit to the point where I rendezvous with the currently in orbit capsule with Jebediah Kerman and the refueling pods, or the refueling tanks, I suppose, really is what connected there. I just need to get into a high enough orbit so that I don't collide with any of the moon, like mountains. I don't know, what would that be? 10 kilometers? 20 kilometers? What's the altitude it tells me I'm right now? 4,000. Okay, so maybe 20 kilometer orbit, and then I could take Jebediah and lower his orbit to meet them and then take them back up. That is a risky proposition, but I'm willing to try it in this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Let me actually fast forward time. It's probably going to be, I don't know what the orbit of the moon is comparatively to our moon, but so that I'm at least lifting off in sunshine so I can see if I'm going to slam into any mountains. So let's time warp. It's going to be, I would assume, a few days, weeks even, if we're talking the lunar cycle. Each month it goes through the lunar cycles, so we're going to have to pass around again. And as you can see, the T+ mission hours are rising into the 15, 16 hours. I just need it to be daylight. And I think that should do it. I'm kind of in the shadow of this mountain, this range on the side of Peanut Crater. Let's fast forward time a little bit more. I suppose I should also mention that our good friend Zisto has started playing Kerbal Space Program. Check it out on his channel. It's a little bit nostalgic, I suppose. Watching somebody play for the first time, trying to get a handle on the best ways to build a rocket and to lift off and launch, and certainly he's enjoying the trials and tribulations of such things as these. Let me see if I can't... No, I want to close the, Oh, shoot! No, okay. Well, I guess we've already... I wanted to close. I wanted to close the thing. Okay, we're already starting. I need to go this away. Crap! That was an accident. That was a complete and utter accident. Alright, let's, we need to go on the 90. Yeah, let's stick it right there. I was trying to close the ladder. but it did not work. Alright, alright. Ha! So, we lifted off, guys. That was an accident and a half right there. I will say that much. Alright, alright. Ha! Alright, we should keep that open, just to keep an eye on our fuel level. Alright, we have an arc. I'm going to try to do this as correct as possible, I suppose. Or as efficiently as possible. I can't zoom in any more than this. Okay. I think, actually, even 8,000 meters might be enough to avoid any such issues with colliding with any terrain. Ha, that was a mistake and a half. Well, we certainly have started this off in an interesting fashion. Alright, I'm going to have to throttle up, I believe, despite my lack of fuel. Okay, this still might not be enough altitude. And we're dipping below 1,000, or I'm sorry, 100, almost 100 for our liquid fuel. Why couldn't I retract the ladder? Alright, I am going to cut the engines. I'm going to try to do all of these burns at the apoapsis to make sure that I am appropriately utilizing my thrust. I could. How much RCS fuel do I have? I could turn on the RCS. Am I burning RCS? Yes, I am. Although that's not really the most efficient place I could have put those RCS thrusters. Sort of picking up speed by doing that, but not really. Alright, now let's tilt over a little bit. Let's turn off the RCS. Let's throttle up again. I want to stay ahead of my apoapsis is basically what I need to do. I believe I am at enough altitude, so I don't need to go up any. I just need to get into orbit. We are below 100 fuel units. And it's sort of starting to look like an orbit. I don't know that I have enough to do this. Let's try to gain a little bit more altitude to stay up front of my apoapsis. Alright, that's good. Ha. This is problems. 77. Ha. What? Should I, like, be shutting down 2 of my engines? Or would that cause problems as well? 70. Hold on. Throttle down a bit. This might just work. Alright, now I'm going to totally just burn right on the 90. Ha! This was an interesting turn of events. I could just imagine inside. Bill is like, wait, which is the button to retract the ladder? Let's flick all these things, and then oh, that was the engine. I guess we're going. All right, 56, 55, 54. Oh, 2000. All right, we're in an orbit, a very low orbit. Whoa, and the camera changes to match. Okay, this might have worked. I am not entirely, as I said, sure about the terrain, but I did. That is not the way I wanted to do things. I don't know why I can't touch the ladder, but that is permanently extended. Yeah, I can't even select it to say. It just keeps wanting to select the crew hatch or this fuel tank behind it. Oh well, malfunctioning little piece there. Let's get to the apoapsis, and then we can raise our periapsis to maybe 10,000. I'll probably want to get as much altitude as I can, but still keep a little bit of fuel in the tanks. So I suppose my pessimism was incorrect in that we are able to get into orbit with what little fuel we had. Knock on wood still, because I'm still not technically in a proper orbit. Alright, let's fast forward time a touch. The real issue is going to be getting down and rendezvousing with these guys, because I don't have much wiggle room. And I am a little bit off, although I don't know that I want to waste any of this lander fuel to correct the that node. The node. Okay, we're at 7,000 by 7,000. Actually, that's almost a perfectly circular orbit. Is that enough to remain above the mountains? I think so. Look at how far up I am. I think that's just fine and dandy. We still have 51 some odd units of fuel left. And we are going to watch a very glorious Kerbin set. As we do. Bill and Lodfrod are in the capsule. Good thing one of them wasn't out on EVA and I accidentally did that, but it's kind of an interesting. I wonder why that area is kind of a different color on the moon. Are there more rocks? Because that's something I didn't see when we did land. There were no rocks in that, at least the vicinity of Peanut Crater. Okay. This is a thing that has happened. Actually, maybe I could. Nope, not that way. Just for the sake of making it easy on myself. Make this correction here. Ooh. Gentle. 0, 0. Okay, yeah, maybe I could do that here. Let's... Nope, that was the wrong way. Okay. Tense moments around the moon. Oh, brother. Alright, let's do this burn now-ish. Okay. Alright, that might have been a little bit wasteful of our fuel, but we're here. We are in orbit. We are aligned with the capsule. And I think now the thing is to switch to Jebediah and have him come down to rescue these guys. Like I said, I'll keep what little fuel I have in the tanks right now, just for an emergency situation. I don't know what that would entail, but Bill and Lodfrod are happy. They are very pleased with their accidental liftoff. Whew, so let's switch to Jeb and see what he can't do, or can do. Switch to... Alright, whoa, that was a weird face you're making there, Jeb, but he's like, whoa, these guys, I'm surprised they were able to do that. He doesn't have that much fuel either, but definitely a lot more to play with and a lot more of a powerful engine. I have, let's get all the RCS fuel I can get, because Lord knows this rendezvous is going to be a little bit tricky. Alright, and now we can... Jebediah, you ready to do some more fancy rendezvous and docking? Dock M77ing? Let us... No, I want to undock. There we go. Oh, I turned off the RCS. That's what I want to do. Alright. Very nice. Pulling away. Jebediah, once again, extraordinarily happy being able to fly once again. Let's set the moon as our... Or, I'm sorry, the Explorer, the lander, as our target. We are exactly on on target. So now let's see what happens when we add a maneuver, what kind of rendezvous we can get. Of course, I don't want to do too much of a maneuver and then end up smacking myself into the planet. Alright, where are they? Target. Okay, that's not right. Alright, we're gonna have to do the burn back here. Okay, that's fine. Whoops, that didn't turn out right. I gotta get things a little bit closer. A little bit of a shimmy. There we go. 1.1 kilometers, and that path will not bring me smacking into the moon. No, still 6,000 meters. I could probably at least save a little bit of fuel. Haha! And do it that way. No. Half a kilometer separation at that point. So I think that is going to be our maneuver. You ready for this? Jebediah, Kerbin, let's set ourselves up. Let's set us up the bomb. Where is this maneuver? Ah, there it is. Let's hold that. Let's fast forward. Wow, Jebediah, you are just a happy, happy guy. But yeah, I was talking about Zisto playing Kerbal Space Program. Very entertaining. It'll be very entertaining to see as he... With Zisto, he says he's very into the idea of creating ridiculously complicated rockets and machines, as you are familiar with Zisto doing so in Minecraft and on the Minecraft server. So I'm looking forward to hopefully he continues playing. And where's this burn coming up? These guys are still in orbit, right? They haven't smacked into the moon? Okay, good. They're just now passing over their landing site. Come on. I don't know how long of a burn this is going to be. Shouldn't be that bad. Alright, let's switch. Is this engine actually on? Activate engine. No, it's not. That would have been an important thing. Why am I showing... Oh, it's still like showing me connected. That's not right. That's not right, guys. I'm not connected to the rest of the ship. So hopefully those engines like don't burn automatically. Am I right? Alright, let's try... Our burn... Okay, yeah, it's not taking much at all. Gotta get this precise as possible to get as close as we possibly can. And we're going to shut down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boop. And it appears that the refueling vessel has remained in orbit, so that means I wasn't also controlling those engines. That's always good. Spot on with a rendezvous. Alright, and these coming down from a higher orbit to a lower orbit and then rendezvousing are always a little bit more tricky. It's a lot, I think it's, you end up more familiar launching from the surface to a rendezvous from a lower orbit. Although I think the principles are still the same. Principal Skinner, reference. And good, it is the sunlight. Okay, we've warped down because we're within a certain altitude. And we are 8 kilometers away. Let's flip around. I have really got to start putting lights on things. It's too dark. Sunrise. Alright. Oh yeah, we're gonna start to feel a little bit of that motion sickness because we are so close. I remember I was orbiting Minmus at a very close altitude, and doing any sort of on-orbit maneuvers was a little bit hairy and a little bit sickening because you feel the motion a lot easier. Alright, we're gonna wait until they're just beneath us, as close as we can get, and then we're going to zero out our relative speed right now. Might have waited a little bit long for that. Maybe not. 1 and stop. Very nice. All right. Now, we need to get that. Oh. Yeah, okay. Now we need to start actually traveling towards... like that. All right, very nice. And I suppose, I don't know, this isn't much of a tutorial series. I tried doing tutorials, but I'm not very good at that. But for those who don't know, I started playing the game before they added this docking mechanism. I don't understand it at all. So I simply use WASD QE and IJKL HN for my translation. Whoop, gotta turn on the RCS. Whoop. As far as docking is concerned, target, that is our target speed relative to the target, so we're approaching at 0.6 meters per second. And on your nav ball, the little magenta sphere is the target, is the direction to the target. And your green, that little green thing that I'm moving around, is your axis of direction towards that. So when you get those two lined up, that means I am heading exactly at, I'm drifting a bit to the left, I don't know why, at the target, at now I sped up to 1.6 meters per second. I can actually probably speed that up to like 3 or 4 or 5 at this distance. I have plenty of time to slow down. So that's what that means. But yeah, not too much of a tutorial. So sorry, Zisto, if you're looking for tutorials, my channel is probably not the one. Certainly it's not the right way to do things, but it's the way I am familiar with it. And it's always a little bit easier to go into chase mode, because then up, down, left, right equals up, down, left, right visually. All right, let's speed up a little bit. And here we go. Oh yeah, that motion. And these mountains are coming out to grab us. Alright, now I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjustments to make sure I'm still on track. I don't have too many RCS nodes on this capsule. I tried to keep things simple. And look where it got me! Okay, I have 4, but they're kind of probably improperly placed. They look like they're probably about at the center of mass, so it really isn't as helpful as it should be if I had 4 or had moved them elsewhere. Approaching. Our orbits are mostly matched, though that'll get fixed in a moment. Hey guys, remember me? Jebediah Kerman says with a smile on his face. He's starting to actually run low on oxygen. I'm glad that's not a thing that we have to worry about. Bringing oxygen. Let's just assume that Kerbals don't need to breathe oxygen. Although they do have spacesuits that are airtight, so I don't know what that says. Whew, a little bit of time to relax, to enjoy the sunshine. Oh yeah, Jebediah is in the captain's seat there, the commander's seat, excuse me. Oops, no, I want to chase, thank you. He doesn't get a window. Theoretically, except for the stuck ladder, this lander is pretty good. If I can bring it back up to the refueler, I could leave the lander at the refueling station. And then it could be a sort of reusable lander. Because the reason I ran out of fuel is because I was practically out. Because I was using its fuel to actually get to the moon. Because I don't know how to design a proper spacecraft. Alright, here we go. I believe we have visual on the Moon Explorer, 0.21 lander. ...200-ish meters away. I'm deflecting a little bit to the left, but that's good. Just in case I'm coming in too hot, I won't smack right into them, hopefully. Maybe a solar panel will be damaged or something, but... And I'm still... And I know, you can adjust... I'm not too... I don't like it so much. You can adjust your position without turning off your SAS now. But... It still is kind of wobbly, and it still fights you a little bit. So that's still something, as somebody who's played for so long, I'm going to have to get used to. Alright, so we've slowed ourselves down. How are we doing for RCS? Plenty of RCS fuel. These are a nice addition. These bigger external RCS pods. We're going to set that port as our target. Oh, that text is wrong. Can't see it, it's black. We're going to... Whoop. Flip ourselves with the proper axis in mind here. Like so. And then I'm going to try to cancel out my movements. We got a nice shadow there. We're pretty much on the right axis. It just is going to take lining myself up. And here's the part where the the motion sickness comes into play because we are upside down. I suppose I could do a roll, but how am I doing for distance? Plenty of distance. Plenty of distance. 7 meters, plenty of distance to totally screw this up. All right. Let's go up. Let's cancel out our right drift. And we're pretty much parked here. There we can see that's our target. Like I said, the little magenta thing. So I just need to adjust enough. I'm actually moving away from the spacecraft right now, I think. But I need to adjust enough to get my forward little green marker. There it is, there it is. Now to line up. It's a little bit jittery. I'm a little bit off. Whoop. My axis there, alright. Coming in very slow. Ha! A little bit sideways. Alright, I just wanna... Ha! Hope none of you had any, motion sickness, because this is a little bit weird. Alright, now I can move forward. Alright, I'm a little bit off. I'm a little bit off. This is the problem with going too slow. I think I'm actually way off. Yeah, I'm way off. Also, the lander is a little kind of tumbling, which is still something I don't know why that's a problem. Alright, here we go. I'm perfectly aligned. Yep, there we go. Alright. Bing! We got him! Hey guys! Welcome back! Holy cow, that's a spicy meatball. Alright, let's get out of chase mode there. Whoa! Whew! Alright, so now... good grief. All we have to do, let's disable the lander's engines. Because if we were to fire our rockets right now, they would basically be fighting against each other. I still can't retract. Retract ladder! There we go, it works! Watch it explodes everything. It collides with the crossbeam and... There we go. All right, the ladder works. Oh, man. All right. Lodfrod, Bill Kerbin. Let's... Why not? It's very scenic. Let's, at this altitude... Oh, and the hatches are, like, almost perfectly lined up. Well done, Jebediah. Well done! Let's... Oops. I wanted to... No. How do I want them to go on EVA. There we go. Lodfrod. Let's turn on R. Let's just translate a little bit over. Not any problems at all. Let's grab. Let's go in butt first. And last but not least, let's get Bill Kerbin out. Bill Kerbin. He's been to the top of the VAB. Been to the moon. And now he's on EVA, just 7,800 meters above the moon. He's taking his time. He's enjoying the scenery. And once again, with the Kerbin set that we just had a little bit earlier. Very cool. Alright, now... Alright, Bill, we're not gonna play around too much. Other people suggested if all else fails, it's apparently possible to get into lunar orbit with just their jetpacks. So theoretically, their jetpacks could have lifted them off and gotten them into lunar orbit. Possibly. That would have been a bit more dangerous, and I am glad that we're able to actually salvage the lander here. So now, what we need to do is raise our orbit once again. I mean, I suppose I could lower the orbit of the refueler, but I think it's 100 by 100 about meters. So it's like circular, right? Yeah, I think that's a good altitude. It gives a lot of leeway for in any incoming spacecraft. Although there is this minor issue with we crossed the path of some debris, but if there is any issue with any other incoming spacecraft, we can rendezvous and refuel. So let's get back up to that. Oh, first we actually have to set it as our target. Let's see what we can't do to rendezvous. Rendezvous!